Okay, students, this is the answer key to the grammar notes. At the end of this particular answer key lesson, you will receive the password to the grammar quiz. Okay, so under the grammar notes folder, you had a series of folders that covered different grammar topics. Under the sentence basic folder, you discuss subjects and verbs. Okay, and so the first question, if the subject is singular, you know that the verb must be singular. Okay, and singular means one. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural, and plural means more than one. Okay, and note that a singular verb ends in the letter S. Okay. So for instance, let's say you have a sentence, and in the sentence the subject is dog. Okay? In the sentence the subject is dog. Okay? Dog is singular, and so the verb must be singular, and singular verbs end in S. The dog barks a lot. Let's say you have the subject dogs, which is plural. And so if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural, and the plural form of the verb bark is bark. So dog is singular, verb must be singular. Barks is a singular verb because it ends in S. Okay. Dogs is plural, the verb must be plural, and the plural form of bark is bark. All right. And so here, let's identify the subject and the predicate of the sentences. So the subject is who or what the sentence is about. The predicate of the verb is what the sentence is doing. We're going to identify the simple subject and the simple predicate. So here, one will be the subject. Will develop is the predicate. Okay, now I just highlight the predicates. Now, one is the subject. Out of every 5 Americans is what we call a prepositional phrase. And you learn that under the sentence basics folder that a prepositional phrase will never contain the subject or the verb of a sentence. Okay, and you know that a prepositional phrase starts with a preposition. Here the word out is a preposition and it ends with a noun. Okay, ways to identify a preposition. You just remember that the words of, from, and with are prepositions. Another way to remember prepositions that indicate locations is to think of an airplane and then think of how that airplane is in relationship to a cloud. The airplane can go in the cloud, out the cloud, to the cloud, beneath the cloud, through the cloud, underneath the cloud, between the cloud. Okay, and those are prepositions. Brian, in this particular sentence, is the subject. Sold is the verb. Remember that the subject is who or what the sentence is about, and the verb or the predicate is what the subject is doing. Siberian tigers is my subject, and what do? Travel is my verb. Any sort is my subject. Of physical activity is a prepositional phrase. Of is a preposition, remember. Can cause is the predicate. Okay? Open your book bag to page 10. Remember that if the sentence is a command, open the door, close the door, bring me some water, be quiet. If your sentence is a command, it is automatically understood that you is the subject. So if the sentence is a command, the subject is understood to be you. Next, we cover the agreement folder. In the agreement folder, remember that a singular subject has a singular verb. Singular verbs end in S. A plural subject has a plural verb. So Miss McIver said the test, more than one, would be the subject. The plural form of is the verb are. Okay, so is singular, is a singular verb. Singular verbs end in what letter? S. Is end in S. Okay, are is the plural form. The number of applicants. Of applicants is a prepositional phrase. You always your subject or your verb is never in the prepositional phrase, and the prepositional phrase does not have any weight or value on the subject or verb. So the number is the subject. The numbers is one or is singular. So you need a singular verb and singular verbs in an is. Each is your subject. Cross out of the apples because it's a prepositional phrase. It's not your subject. So in under the agreement folder, we learn about indefinite pronouns. If the pronoun ends in one, body, or thing, okay, and that means anyone, let's go right here, anyone, everyone, someone. If the indefinite pronoun ends in body, everybody, somebody, anybody. And if it ends in the word thing, everything, something, anything, it is singular. Okay. Also, the indefinite pronouns of each, either, and neither are also singular. Okay. And so these singular pronouns will have what? Singular verbs. So each is singular. And so the verb will be singular, and singular verbs end in what letter, people? S. Remember, if the pronoun ends in one, body, or thing, it is singular. Each, neither, and either are also singular. Mr. and Miss Smith means more than one, so it is plural, so the verb must be plural. A few dollars, a few houses, a few cars, a few lovers, a few shoes mean more than one. It is plural. You can cross out of the students because that's not a part of the subject. A few is the subject, a few is plural, and so it would take on the plural form of the word play. Both is also plural. Cross out of the boys because it's not a part of the subject. Both is the plural subject, so it will have a plural verb. Have is the plural verb. Has is the singular verb. Remember, the singular verbs end in the letter S. Everything is that indefinite pronoun that ends in thing, that's singular. So we have a singular verb, and singular verbs end in S. One is singular. Remember, of the antique chairs is a preposition, a prepositional phrase, so it does not, it would not be a part of the subject. So one is the subject, one is singular, it will have a singular verb. Singular verbs end in what letter? S, correct. Okay, next we're going to talk about sentence problems. Okay, a sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence. Your sentences must have a subject, verb, and a complete thought. A sentence fragment will be missing one or more of those things. Okay, a comma splice is two or more sentences, two or more complete sentences, joined with only a comma. Hence the name comma splice. A comma is too weak to join two complete sentences. So this is a sentence problem. It's incorrect and it needs to be fixed. Run-on sentences is two complete sentences, two or more complete sentences that are joined with no punctuation or no connecting word. Okay? So here we're going to identify which sentences are written correctly and which one will be a run-on, comma splice, or a fragment. The battle of the sexes is an external struggle. Both sides win. These are two complete sentences joined with only a comma. A comma is too weak to join two complete sentences, so it is a comma splice. I'm going to put CS for comma splice. The attractive house, or we'll do B. Okay. The attractive house cannot be seen from the road because it has a hidden driveway. This sentence is written correctly. It's been said that green is nature's favorite color. It is also mine. Two complete sentences with no punctuation or joining word would be a run-on. Cities will soon completely is not a complete thought, so this is a fragment. I mowed the lawn last week. The lawn doesn't need mowing again. A semicolon is strong enough to join two complete sentences, so this sentence is written correctly. Follows me from room to room. What follows me from room to room? The subject is missing, so this is a fragment. Edward Murch the Shrek is an interesting painting. It is also a probing psychological work. This would be a run-on. Two complete sentences that have no punctuation or connecting words to join it. Full-size grandfather clocks are beautiful. They are also very expensive. Join with a comma. A comma is too weak to join together two complete sentences, so this is a comma splice. Excuse me. Okay. And this last one. Because my sister put a flea and tick collar on the cat, comma, the cat will have fleas this year. This sentence is written correctly because this first part of the sentence is a sentence fragment or incomplete sentence. Because my sister put a flea and tick collar on the cat, comma, the cat will have fleas this year. So you can join a incomplete sentence, which is also called a dependent clause, and a complete sentence with a comma. A comma cannot join two complete sentences, but a comma can join a sentence fragment and a sentence. Okay, so this is written correctly. Let's identify these as fragment, comma, splice, or run-on. You have this comma joining two complete sentences. This will be a comma splice. Van hadn't seen his son in 4 months. They enjoyed getting together. This would be a run-on. Because we had tickets, no complete thought here, so this would be a SF, sentence fragment. Sarah bought a stylish new jumpsuit, comma, it has diamonds on the front and back. Two complete sentences joined with only a comma is a comma splice. 5 is a sentence fragment. Went to college in Greensboro. Who went to college in Greensboro? The subject is missing. The children wanted to watch cartoons. Their mother made them come to the table. This would be a run-on. There are many popular rock and roll singers in the 50s. Many of their songs sounded alike. This would be a run-on. Oscar Wilde is a famous author, comma, his life was controversial. This would be a comma splice. Okay, so there are there are 3 ways to fix a comma in a run-on sentence. We're going to talk about those 3 ways. Okay. The first way is to make them 2 complete sentences. There were many popular rock and roll singers in the 50s. Period. Many of their songs sounded alike. Another way is to join with a semicolon. Remember, a semicolon is strong enough to join 2 complete sentences. There are many popular rock and roll singers in the 50s. Semicolon, many of their songs sounded alike. And lastly, add a comma and a coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction is what we call fanboys. Okay? Fanboys is an acronym that actually names coordinating conjunctions. So fanboys stand for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These fanboys are really coordinating conjunctions, and they, when combined with a comma, forms a compound sentence, which is the correct way to write a sentence. There are many rock and roll singers in the 50s, and many of their songs sounded alike. Okay? Now you need to fix this comma splice using all 3 ways. Okay? You're going to fix this comma splice using the 3 ways that I discussed. Our professor reviewed for the test in class. Several of us went to the library afterwards to study. Okay, so we can make this 2 complete sentences. Several of us, our professor reviewed for the test in class, period. Several of us went to the library afterwards to study, period. Okay? You can join these two sentences with a semicolon. Remember, a semicolon is strong enough to join two complete sentences. Or you can join it with a comma and one of those coordinated conjunctions. Our professor reviewed for the test in class, comma, and several of us went to the library afterwards to study. Okay? Next, we talked about, the information in the sentence types folders, the different sentence types that we're going to discuss. A dependent clause is a sentence fragment. It's dependent upon something. It's a sentence fragment. Okay? An independent clause expresses a complete thought. Independent means it can stand on its own. Okay? And so an independent clause expresses a complete thought. An independent clause is a complete sentence. Okay? A compound sentence is two sentences joined with a comma and one of the fanboys. Two sentences joined with a comma and one of the fan boys. Okay? A compound will have a comma and a coordinated conjunction. Let's just change that to a compound is two sentences joined with a comma and a coordinated conjunction. You know the fanboys are coordinated conjunctions, but I don't want you to get confused. A compound sentence, two sentences joined with a comma and a coordinated conjunction. However, remember that fanboys are coordinated conjunctions, right? A compound sentence will have a comma and a coordinated conjunctions. What are coordinated conjunctions? They are called fanboys. What does fanboys stand for? For, and, nor, but, yet, so. A complex sentence will have a subordinated conjunction. Okay? Common subordinated conjunctions are words like because, common subordinated conjunctions are words like because, although, if, even though, before. Okay? These are common coordinated conjunctions. Okay? So, a simple sentence is a type of sentence. A simple sentence is simply a complete sentence. A compound sentence is a compound sentence is two sentences joined with a comma and with a coordinated conjunction. Remember, coordinated conjunctions are fanboys, which stands for and, nor, but, yet, and so. A complex sentence will have a subordinated conjunction. Repeat after me. A complex sentence will have a subordinated conjunction. Okay? Common subordinated conjunctions are because, although, if, even though, and before. Subordinated conjunctions can come in the at the beginning of a sentence, or they can come in the middle of a sentence. Okay? Wipe your mouth before you touch the cloth. Before is a subordinated conjunction. And remember that complex sentences have a subordinated conjunction. I wish you could go with me, comma, but I understand your obligations. Two complete sentences joined with a comma and one of those coordinated conjunctions is a compound sentence. Although Brian needed a dentist, comma, he refused to make an appointment. Let's just get rid of this. Okay, although Brian needed a dentist, comma, he refused to make an appointment. Although is one of those subordinated conjunctions. What type of sentence will have a subordinated conjunction? Complex. Remember, complex sentences have subordinated conjunctions. Remember, the subordinated conjunction can come in the middle of the sentence. If it comes in the middle, it will not have a comma, or it can come at the beginning. If it comes at the beginning, it will be a comma. Okay, Gillian can't make the performance, comma, and I don't want to go. Okay, So this right here is what we call a compound sentence. Two complete sentences, my computer messing up. Two complete sentences joined with a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Okay. I received 2 plants, a new outfit, and a dozen roses. This sentence does have a comma and does have a coordinating conjunction. For it to be a compound sentence, it must be a complete sentence on both sides of the comma and coordinating conjunction. So let's look at 4. Gillian can't make the performance, complete sentence. I don't want to go, complete sentence. Okay. For it to be a compound sentence, it must be a complete sentence on both sides of the comma and coordinating conjunction. I received 2 plants, a new outfit. That's not a complete sentence. A dozen golf balls for my birthday. That's not a complete sentence. This particular sentence is what we call a simple sentence. Whenever you have 3 or more items in a series, you do add a comma and a subordinated conjunction. For instance, I went to the store to buy grits, eggs, and bacon. Okay, this is 3 items in a series, so I use a comma and an. Okay, and so when you have 3 or more items in a series, you join them with a comma and an. That's not that doesn't make it a compound sentence. Compound sentences must have 2 sentences on both sides of the comma and the fanboys. This is simply a simple sentence that has 3 or more items in a series. Okay, so we have just covered your grammar notes. This is your answer key. I suggest that you study this information before taking the quiz. Okay, I believe you can take the quiz 3 times and your highest score will be recorded. But most importantly, this information will be on the final, on the midterm as well as the final. So understanding it and knowing it will help you do well on those exams. Okay, good luck.